Weiten. Just checked out the cemetery. It's Sunday morning. Karen and her host, not quite sure what his name is. He's talking in German, she's talking in Spanish for some reason, so... What?
I'm always thinking in Spanish, yes, it's true.
I think she can hear me.
But as soon as we go to Spain, then I'll be speaking in German.
Oh, okay. So this is where the Orths were from. The new cemetery is up there, but that's not where they would have been buried at, so we're going to the old cemetery, which is near where we were. And many of the houses are still... I don't think there's any farmers left, but people tend to live connected to the barns. This is the new part of town, but the old part of town still, it's barns and living places together. Little mill that they have here in Weiten. Not in this spot, but it was moved here, but that was how they would grind their grain into flour. And next to it was a press. The press on top is new, but the rock on the bottom is pretty old. And they're big on apple spices here. So the very stuff that they would grow here on the sides of the hills, they would press, and the juice would come out of the trench into a bucket right here. So kind of cool. Pretty big, has to be pretty old. It's in the middle of town here. So there's an example of the house and barn right next to it. So here's the backside of the Weiten church. Dates back, I think, over 300 years, he was saying. So the addition to the right there, I don't know if you can see it, was added in 1922. So, or yeah, 1922. But the main part goes back much further. Then the small chapel, well, this looks like a pretty old house too. Hard to tell how old it really is, but again, the same structure of the house and the barn.
On a pan from, we're guessing that the city back there is Freudenberg, which is where a couple of the ancestors came from. In this direction is Faha. It's maybe this little village. Let's see if I can zoom in. The little village there is likely Faha. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And then we just came from back there by Weiten. I'll just show you the castle in Freudenberg. I'll see if I can zoom in on it. Okay, there it is. I don't know if it comes in very well with my shaky hand. Turn it on.
Oh.
We are now in Freudenberg. Looks like this city might have been fairly big because there's like older buildings already over here.
Yeah, intermixed with the new buildings.
Yeah. So apparently in the war, or the wars, plural, Freudenberg and Weiten weren't hit as bad as Orscholz. Orscholz had, I think they said 1/3 of their buildings that were destroyed.
Left or destroyed.
We don't know if they were left or destroyed, but we heard 1/3.
Here's where we came up at. I'm going to turn where we turned yesterday to go down that, under that arch.
Oh, okay.
At least that's my goal. Yeah, right here at the bank.
So there were some people that, some distant relatives that came from Freudenberg, or at least got married here.
Seems like the houses are along the main streets. That's kind of what it looks
This
like.
old bridge, we have no idea what the deal is with it, but we don't know if it was part of the castle. And there's a building on the right here that is made out of stone that looks very old. In the castle at Freudenberg. It's very old. Did it say how old it is?
1300s or so.
1300s. Here's the inside of the castle. So I bet that arch is part of the castle. Because it had that same red rock. Here's another room in the castle. You can see there are big holes, probably where they put big logs. I think I hear a rooster.
Yeah.
Another room. This would have been the view.